Everybody, man, it's your boy D-Top, man. Just chilling, kicking it real regular, man. Fresh home, man. Yeah, you can say I'm still fresh, man. It's February 16th, man. I got released January 24th, man. I've just been chilling, man. Just one day at a time, you know. Stayed true to my faith, man. Got incarcerated October 2009, you know, for 3 attempted murders, 2 gun charges, conspiracy to commit murder. Had about 9 charges, man, and it ain't nothing to brag about, man, because in that period of my life, I lost everything, man. You know, coming from the streets, I'll be the first one to admit, man, that, you know, love will get you killed out there. So, man, all that, you know, ain't no such thing as love, and ain't no such thing as loyalty. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but the loyalty is really limited, you know, and it'd be too late. It'll be too late when you find out who fake, you know, when you find out that nobody is really with you, but all is against you. Given the right circumstances, all will be against you, you know. I done seen a best friend do his own man like he never knew him, man. Like, I ain't gonna say I physically seen. I know of, I heard of, you know. I was locked up with one person who did do it, so, you know, it's just... Ain't nothing, you know, the streets is a reality, man, and you know, I'm thankful to God that I got out of it, man. Like I said, man, I had, you know, 9 charges, man, you know, 7 different codees, man, and I'm blessed I came out on top, man. I ain't 51-month bid, you know, compared to the charges I had, 51 months was a blessing, you know. It was, my bid could have been a nightmare, I'll tell you that, but it wasn't, thank God, you know. I found God. Let me not say I found him. I started accepting my calling, you know, in his life when he slowed me down when I got locked up. Because when I first got locked up, back in, I was in Monmouth County, man, and due to my charges, you know, I don't know when they started that, but since I had attempted murder charges or whatever, they threw me back in the pod by myself, man. I was locked in there 23 hours a day, you know. So you ain't got nothing but time to think in there, just go crazy, work out, look out your window all day. But, you know, I ain't know what to do. Just for the simple fact, on top of my charges, you know, my uncle had got murdered for my house getting shot up, and my grandmother got shot as well. And there was a period of time through that period that, you know, police actually influenced my family to believe I had something to do with that. So, you know, there was a period of time where they left, you know. Like I said, homies, they was gone from the get-go. You know, all the friends I thought I had, you know, I really didn't have. So I was by myself, and I was emotionally weak. You know, my whole life I was always an emotional weak person, you know. So me being in that situation, you know, those charges on top of, you know, they trying to pin my uncle body on me and my grandmother getting hit, you know, I ain't know what was going on. I ain't know what was going to happen with me. You know, they talking about putting me away forever, man. And that's when I started realizing, man, like, I ain't honest, man. In all honesty, man, I ain't built to live in jail for the rest of my life, man. I got things to do, and I got things I want to do. You know, I actually thought about taking my own life. In all honesty, I thought about taking my own life, man, but I was too scared to do it, you know. The funny thing is, not even funny, but the thing is, when I thought about doing it, you know, a razor slid under my door. Ain't no inmate slide no razor under my door, but it just happened to be razor day. So, you know, I just took that as, you know, God really want me to take myself, man. I ain't know nothing about God at the time, man. So I'm looking at that like he really must want me to kill myself. So I just looked up like, God, if you really want me to do this, you know, if you really don't want me to do this, stop me. And truth be told, you know, he ain't stopped me. You know, it was, I can honestly say, if I wasn't scared to kill myself, I'd have probably been dead. You know, I wouldn't be right here, you know, talking to y'all about what was going on, man. But I was too scared to do it, you know. But after that, I told God, you know, I was praying like, you know, God, this is something I really want to do. Like I I really wanted to get to know him, you know, because it's like I said, man, you either gonna get real close to God or real far from yourself, man. And I got real close to God. I got shipped out of, Monmouth County in November and went to Mercer County. I was in Trenton, they county jail. And that's when I started rehumanizing myself and rehabilitating myself. And I started getting to know God more. I started drawing closer and closer to Him. And He started, revealing to me through many situations on, He's real, showing me that He's real in many different ways, man. I started my rehabilitation, there was a nice group of believers, man, there. I don't know where they are now. I know where a few of them are, and shout out to you. I know who you are with me, Then there I discovered a talent, of music. I always was a rapper, but out on the streets, people like me. But, my critics were in my own camp, they, like I said, I was weak emotionally, man. I had low self-esteem, low confidence, all that. So I didn't really believe in myself. But there was this guy named K. Will in the county with me, man. I love that boy to death, man. I ain't no disrespect by me saying boy, but I love him to death, man. He was my age, but you wouldn't be able to tell because the way he moved, and I admired that about him. I looked up to him for that, man. And I just wanted, at that time, I wanted to do whatever I can to chill with him, be close with him. So I seen him writing a song one day, and, I'm like, yo, I was just playing. I was just gelling, like, yo, bro, let me jump in this with you, man. Just gelling, man. And he said, all right, come on. And, and we got busy, man. We made a song called The Angels. I know you remember if you ever watched this, my boy. But we made a song called The Angels, man. And ever since that moment, man, I never put my pen down from writing music like that. Like, I really found like that is what I love doing, writing music, banging tracks out left and right, but doing it for the glory of God, man. And at that time, He started orchestrating plans within my heart, put a team together, man. DSF3 Ministries, man. That's what I'm working on now. But started doing that, man, and like, it was all a blessing to me, man. I couldn't wait to get home to start, but I had to go through some things to build me up, to prepare me for who I am today, to make me the man who I am today, to prepare me for what I'm gonna face out here. And and that's exactly what God did, man. I'm standing strong in the Lord and the might of His power, man. But K. Will eventually left, it was just me and my man Go Hard in there, chilling, I'm still going through trials, being built up, being edified in the Lord, man, and just doing what I can for my brothers in the congregation there, man. Shout out to Pops, Q, A Live, K Will, and GH, man. I still love y'all, man, and like I said, man, I stay true. I'm gonna be out here getting busy, but I went down state, man. The day I get down there, I run into a trial, I run into an obstacle. My faith is small, man. But like Jesus said, man, start off with the faith of a mustard seed. But what people tend to forget is when that mustard seed grows, it grows into the largest plant, man. So, and that's what God did with me, I got there, I went to Mountain View, I'm in Annandale, and, the orientation process, man, these guys doing the orientation, I see one of them grilling me, but that's neither here nor there. But, the other guy doing the orientation, he just keep proceeding to say, if you snitching, or you fooled, or you this, or you that, check in right now. And after a while, I'm starting to notice, I ain't gonna say notice, I'm starting to feel like they pulling out their hammer and shooting at me. So after all his every words, I ain't come up on no tough junk. I came up humble as ever, like, yo, was y'all talking about me? So they like, yeah, come on, let's go in the bank. Nah, man, excuse me, they ain't say yeah, come on. They like, yo, come on, let's go in the bank. So now we in the bank. I'm like, so they like, don't, I'm trying to, it was over 4 years ago, so I'm trying to give it to y'all as honest as I can. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I ain't gonna say nothing at all. But no matter who get hurt by it, or I'm saying hurt in an emotional way by me telling the truth, that's on them. I'ma speak it whether it's a foreign language to y'all understand it or not, But they came in there like, yo, man, I heard you was telling. I'm like, telling on who, mind you? I heard little rumors, everybody saying that, you know. I'm not even going to say rumors because they were just somebody saying anything. Nah, just throw that under the dirt. But when I got down there, it's like, yo, this was concrete, you know, rumor. Like, so this the first time I'm hearing of this junk, really. Like, yo, so who I'm supposed to be telling on? I got 7 cold D's. You know, my gun charges, man, they know I ain't telling on them because they know I took that gun charge from Rock. They know I took it. So now they talking about the case I got with my 2 cold D's. So I'm like, what? Now, anybody that was with me downstate, I tell you, I ain't never changed my story when I said we all kept it G in that case, man. All of us kept it G. Mind you, at this moment in time, I never saw my paperwork, and I put that on actual facts, because I'm like, I know who I was involved with, and I was one of them type of people that just was so head over heels for his homies, you know. It's like, you know, I never would expected the worst with them. You know, so I ain't care to look at my paperwork. Like, you know, I know what was said. I know, and I also know what the cops showed me when I got locked up. But that's neither here nor there, man. But like, man, we all kept it G. Ain't nobody telling nobody. I ain't telling nobody, man. So they keep proceeding with this, and now one of them bring the cop in the bank. You know, the bank is where the cops, you know, keep their little coffee. If you been down Annandale, you know, man. So cops come in the bank, and he like, they started telling him what's happening. Now I'm sitting back macking, like, thinking, like, because I'm not used to this. This is my first bid, and, you know, from what I know, gangsters don't cooperate with COs, man. And I'm like, keep this in your mind when I say I'm not speaking down on them, but like I said, I'm just keeping it J, man. You know, explaining my testimony, man. And, you know, the cop take me to, matter of fact, scratch that. The cop started asking me questions like, did you tell on somebody? I'm like, nah. So they like, is you fooled? I'm like, I ain't into that, you know. I ain't into nothing, man. I'm Christian, man, and that's how I kept it, you know. So they started talking about they gonna move me on the low side. I was on the high side. They said they gonna move me down to the low side, the other side of the compound. So I'm like, alright. So then they started talking about some PC junk. Now, like I said, man, I ain't with none of that PC. I'm not going to PC. If as far as I knew about PC in that time, you in the cell 24/7. I'm not doing 4 years in no cell 24/7. No sir. So, and then on top of that, I didn't even know they had PC downstate. But, you know, so they made me pack my bag up. I dapped my man King and told him what was up, you know. Alright, we'll see you on the next. So I left. You know, the cop taking me somewhere. They put me in a cell. They strip searched me, put me in a cell, all this other stuff. Now they come back later with charges. I'm like, so I'm looking like, what's this for? So they like, yo, refusing housing charge. I'm like, I ain't refusing no housing charges, you know. So what is all this? So based long story short, that they kept me from the day I got to Annandale. I was in there 15 days. I got out December 21st, 2010, out of lockup. You know, I don't know what God saved me from in that unit I was in. You know, but I know nothing He does is useless. But you know, I went to Unit 4. They sent me to Unit 4. You know, everybody got their little comments about Unit 4, but when I was in there, Unit 4 was far from PC. You know, not saying that I was some type of threat, but like again, if you was downstate, when I was downstate in Unit 4, Unit 4 was live. Unit 4 was where it was at, man. Not to big it up, you know, because I ain't into that, but I got to Unit 4, man, and you know, I'm in the dorm, I'm chilling. That night, I'm about to go to rec. I'm going to rec with somebody. I don't know the guy. I don't know where we met, but I'm going to rec. But they turned me around because I had, you know, once you go downstate, you get your little intake, your cup, spoon. I still had all that in my coat pocket, not even knowing. So they sent me back when they checked me. So I get back to the dorm, and these guys looking at me, and they like, yo, man, that's the dude that told on somebody, man, all this other junk. So now here we go all over again in 4, you know. So now I'm like, man, I stood in the middle of the dorm, you know, humble as ever. Like, yo, if it's going to be a problem with me staying here, let me know right now. You know, so skipping out of that, you know, the cop caught window was going on. They like, yo, we gonna send you to Northern State. So they took me to the basement of center. I'm like, nah, I ain't want to go to Northern State. I'm good here. So I went back in that unit and they put me in a room. Praise God, because God know from the county. You know, ever since my man GH, when he was telling me about prison, he was talking about the dorms. I don't like dorms, you know. I don't know nothing about dorms. I've never been to prison before. But when I hear dormitory, man, it's just like, it's like you in a room with 30 other people sleeping and all this other stuff, and I ain't with none of that. But excuse me for a second. But like I was saying, I got back and they put, long story short, it just so happened, and it was God. It just so happened that somebody wanted to get out of room. They wanted to get out of the room and go in the dorm. So that room opened up for me to go in there, and that was a blessing from God, and I thank him for that. And that was him, you know, protecting me from something else, man. So my days, when I say this, don't quote me on this, but you know, the situation come up again, and it was from somebody from Nook, you know, who we actually became cool, you know, once all this stuff got straightened out. But you know, he pulled me in the bathroom downstairs in the unit like, yo, I heard you telling on somebody, you gotta get your paperwork sent up here and all. So I'm looking at him like, I'm looking at him and excuse me, I'm looking at him and he's talking to me. Then he started talking about, yo, you gotta start paying some rent. Now I'm looking at him, yeah, my eyes got that big like, huh? Nah, Cypher, man. I ain't doing none of that, man. I ain't with none of that. So now, you know, now it hit me like, man, matter of fact, I better get my paperwork up here so I can see what everybody talking about. You know, and I got my paperwork up there, and I ain't gonna say nothing else besides the fact that all that snitching junk, it was out the window. It was done with. You know, and me and that guy who I was just telling you about was cool. But them other guys I told y'all about still want to pound. So, you know, every day, you know, things going on. And this is how God is so great, man. He say those who believe in him, you know, he'll protect them. He say, you know, he'll fight for us. We won't even have to lift a finger. I think that's in Exodus 13:13 or Exodus 14:14. You can check it out. But you know, I didn't know that my man King ran into the dude who pulled me in the bathroom and told him, like, yo, before my paper got up here, like, yo, nah, man, he ain't do that, because I was with him in the county through his whole bid, and we ain't never hear none of that. And, you know, we was around this case, and plus my man who he is involved with, he wanted them to turn, you know, come under him, and he searched them out. He legit, you know, I ain't know God set that meeting up for them two to get together. I didn't know, you know, I'm going to work every day. I'm working at the teller shop, and I get back, and it finally hit my heart, like, yo, man, and this is not too long, you know, after all the situation popped off. So I'm like, yo, I'm looking around like, yo, where those guys go? And truth be told, they got shipped out the unit, you know. So it's like God works, man. Even when we don't see or understand, he always working, and you gotta keep your faith in that, man. So, you know, my bid could have been a night, man. I had COs, man, trying to get at me, and mind you, I ain't disrespect nobody in that facility, no inmate, no cop, you know. People had a lot of things to say about me, and I don't mean to boast or big myself up, but when I do say this, you know, can't nobody ever say I was fake, I switched, or I changed. I kept it G with everybody. I had love for everybody, and truth, like I said, people had oh, he weird, all this, but you know, a lot of people respected me just because I stayed true to who I was. You know, I said I was a Christian and I lived it. I showed everybody love and respect, and they showed it back. You know, but the COs, man, they planting shanks in the dorm, you know, fake shanks in the dorm, so on the shakedown they could run down there and lock our unit down, and said that the unit won't get off lock until somebody pop me. You know, they taking people out of the dorms who want to stay in the dorms, who hate cells, and putting them in their cells, or putting them in cells, telling them, if y'all don't pop me, y'all not going back. If they don't pop me, they not going back in the cells, man. It's like, but you know, the cops tried to do so much stuff to me down there, but God always had His protective hand over me, you know. So no hurt, harm, or danger came near my dwelling place, and He says that in His Word, man. You know, like, you know, those who make God His refuge, His habitation, love Him. You know, though they face many trials, tribulations, I'll rescue them from His all. He said, no evil shall befall you, and God stayed true to His Word. You know, crazy situation popped off and never came near me. You know, even when it was targeted at me, I was never nowhere around it. The favor of God, man, it was on me. You know, at the same time, like I said, a lot of inmates, you know, hated me for whatever reason, but within those same inmates, a lot of inmates that counted down there, they had love for me. You know, I had favor with them. With a lot of COs, you know, I always had good jobs down there. Kitchen job, moving up to Power Pro, just like that. You know, man, I'm doing, basically, you could say I'm doing what I want in the unit and in the kitchen, you know. And everybody know I ain't telling, I ain't no inmate, CO, none of that. You know, I ain't doing none of that. All that credit and glory go to God, you know. But I'm past all that now, man, and it's a blessing, man. It's truly a blessing to me. You know, just for the simple fact, I know what I came from. You know, I know where I was. I wasn't the wildest on the street. I ain't gonna lie and tell y'all that, but I was out there, you know, and I didn't know how bad I was until I actually got downstate and I hear people, hey, yo, man, I remember you did this, I remember you did that, you know, you shot, you did all that. Like I told them, a lot of that stuff I don't remember. A lot of that stuff was fabricated, a lot of that stuff false, but, you know, it came from somewhere, it came from something, you know. I was out there doing something, and I don't want to say regret, because everything made me the man I am today. Everything that I went through made me who I am today, and it's going to help me be successful in my ministry. You know, God used everything that I did wrong and turned it for my good. And it's all going to work out, man, because He causes all things to work to the good, for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. And when I say love Him, it's not just a feeling, because even He says in His Word that our love for Him is expressed in our obedience to Him. You know, so I'm blessed, man, and I'm thankful for it, man. You know, like I thought the streets and prison was my reality, man. I just thought there was no way out of that at all, you know. And even when I was locked up, it's like sometimes I had my moments like, what's the point of coming back out? You know, what's the point of getting released, man? It's all the same junk everywhere you go, you know. But God showed me different, man. I got released, and you know, I'm surrounded in a circle of love, man. You know, my big sis, Pastor Schuler. You know, my big bro Terrell, man. Definitely my little homie, my little brother Christian, man. I love you to death, man. And you know, I appreciate and I'm honored by you being in my life, man. And I love you, man. You know, I'm blessed to say what many of my friends can't. You know, I'm blessed to say that I'm alive at 24 years old, running the streets where I was and being through what I went through, man. For me to be on both ends of the gun so much, and you know, I never shot nobody, and you know, I haven't ever been hit by a bullet. You know, I came close to death so many times, but you know, I was always rescued, and at that time I just thought I was lucky. But looking back, you know, now I see it was God, you know, protecting me, man, keeping me safe, man, to have me here to do His will. You know, He knew I was going to come to Him. I just didn't know, man. But it's a blessing, man. And now I'm home. You know, I'm trying to do what I can do for the glory of God, man, the kingdom of heaven. And you know, am I done with the streets on that negative side completely? Am I done with the streets for God? Not at all, you know. It's just the beginning. We just starting, man. I don't got no beef with my co-Ds, man. I was downstate with my co-D, man. You know, when I heard he was down there, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking to if you see this. When he was down there, you know, I hollered at him. I called him over my unit. I had favor with the CO. I called him over to the unit, you know. I called him in my cell, and man, and we chopped it up about these rumors of, you know, him saying I was telling on them and all this other stuff, man. And, you know, it got straightened out. You know, we spin in the yard every day, man, and it's the same person who supposedly has something to do with my uncle being killed, man. You know, I told him straight up, man, you know, I still got love for you, man, because if you really had love for somebody, it may not grow no more, but it'll never go nowhere, man. And like I said, I told him I loved him on the streets, man, and it ain't go nowhere. You know, if you did do that, had something to do with it, know something about it, man, that's you and God, man. You know, my conscience is clean, man. You know, I love you, man. You know, we spend the yard every day, man. You know, talking, beating down. It is what it is. You know, me, you, Quaddy. You know, Rel, R.I.P. to him, you know, Party, and whatever was going on with them, man. But I ain't got no beef with my co-Ds. I don't have no beef with the my other co-D who got charged with killing my uncle. I ain't got no beef with him. You know, I don't got no beef with nobody. I don't got no, and that's on my end. You know, a lot of people saying that, you know, he was this and that, man. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I don't want no beef with nobody, man. I just want to live my life, praise God, and ball hard, man. So, you know, if anyone, you know, thinks I'm lying about anything, you know, all you got to do is dig. You know, I'm keeping it G, keeping it straight up. You know, like I said, man, the past is the past, man. That old me dead and gone. I'm done with the street, man. You know, I'm living for God. You know, I bang for Christ now. I ain't with all that other negative stuff, man. That junk could get you nowhere in life, man. But like I said, man, I praise God I'm here, and I'm thankful for it, man. You know, it's D-Time, man, DSF Street Ministries, man. I'm working on that, you know. And I just pray and hope that, you know, a lot of people wake up, man, because, you know, truth be told, the only reality the streets gonna give you is life in hell or life in the cell, man. And that I ain't built for that. I ain't built for that, man. You got cops, you got people, you taking orders from people that'll probably never look at you wrong on the street. That probably watch how many times they breathe around you on the street, but when you behind them walls, man, that's their house, man. They talk to you any type of way they want to. They do whatever they want to you, man. I done watched this one cop set 5 people up on a physical assault, man, and you know he assault them and hit the button and lie and say they assaulted him. Now they biz messed up, you know. There's been cases where COs turn their back and watch other inmates trash somebody, and you know, a few inmates ain't never making home because of that. And when I say never making home, they ain't making home. They went to, you know, a casket, a body bag, you know, type of junk, you know. So, you know, yard up, yard down every day, man. You got a bed by 9 o'clock, or eating the same cycle of food every day, man. And you know, you got deal with everybody. It's just like, you know, you trapped in an environment that you don't want to be in. But some people actually like that. Some people live for that, and I'm not going to disrespect them. If that's what y'all into, that's what y'all into. But me, I'm not into that, man. I just look at my man GH, man. He doing 50 years, man. 50. You know, he thought he was coming home. He doing 50, man. My man Petey, man, he ain't think he was going to do no more than 20 or 30, man. But they hit him with 75, man. He ain't coming home, man. You know, it's a lot of people that's like that ain't never going to be able to hold their kids again on the streets, or will never go out to celebrate another birthday with their kids or watch their kids grow up, or even have kids, never have the opportunity to get married or hold the girl, or even play how they used to play. It's over, man. So it's like you got to think wisely about them streets, man. And it's just like, what's the point, man? It's not natural. It's not natural at all to want to kill somebody, to want to harm innocent life, to want to harm life, period, man. That's not natural, man. And when I was in the half, me and my man Sincere used to beat down about this a lot, man. That junk is not natural at all, man. So A lot of us was brainwashed, and I'm speaking for me personally, man. You know, I ran to the streets looking for love, looking for the love I wasn't getting at home. I don't know what made, and also at the same time, like I said, I was weak emotionally. So you know, my dad and all them, you know, me and my dad, you know, we work in our relationship now. You know, we cool now, we fly now. But you know, at that time, like, you know, him and all the other males in my family, because of the personality I had, they'd call me a punk, fag, and all that stuff used to weigh down on me, man. So I don't know what made me think going to the streets to be something different, find love out there, and at the same time I wanted to show them and prove them wrong that I wasn't a punk. So I changed who I was, you know, and actually got lost in that false identity, actually really thinking that was me, but at the same time knowing that really ain't me, man. You know, I don't like harming people, man, but you know, I'm out there busting guns and running down on people trying to harm their life, whether it be, you know, hand to hand, blade to blade, bullet for bullet, you know, whatever it was, you know. And I look back on it, it's just like, you know, for what, man? You know, look at the people who lost loved ones, man. I lost loved ones, and you know, that junk hurt. You know, it hurt to lose somebody you cared for, man. So I don't know, man. I just thank God, man, for the change, because I couldn't do it without him, man. And one thing I can assure you, man, that I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't war against flesh and blood anymore, man. My enemies are all spiritual, man. And you know, this is a message to them and for them, man. I'm coming. You know, I'm not going to be putting out fires that the enemy starts. You know, he's going to be trying to put out the ones I start. You know, I ain't gonna be running from him. You know, I'm gonna have him running from me. You know, I'm out here, man. You know, it's D-Tide DSFG Ministries, man. You know, I love y'all. I love y'all. You know, especially if you Christian, man. Stand up and stay true, man. It's about time that, you know, we start doing what we got to do as a people, man, and stop all this segregation and denomination stuff, because that stuff ain't biblical, whether you look at it or not, man. You ain't, you know, that it ain't, man. So, you know, a lot of people out here, you know, say they Christians, but they, you know, they live in defeat, man. And it's sad, the simple fact that you're losing a fixed war. You know, the war's already won, and we already won. So why are you fighting in a defeated position? You know, it's just time to step up and man up, man, and be a man of faith, a woman of faith, man. Live our life, ball hard, and praise God, man. We're the people that He using to bring His love and message to the world. And if we ain't doing what we supposed to do, who gonna do it? Who gonna do it? Instead, we start running around creating our own. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but you know, many create their own God. You know, what I mean by that is, you know, they'll follow God, you know, all the way till they see something they don't like. You know, well, let's say fornication. You know, a lot of people still fornicate and claim to be Christians, and when they do things like that, you know, they harm the church. They harm themselves and they harm the church, for the simple fact is, you know, one person may see them do it and think it's all right, you know, so he'll profess the name of God and live like that, and you know, two people may see it, and that two may take that and teach 30, and that 30 may teach it. You never know, man. But you know, my God is greater, my God is stronger. So you know, we always prevail, man. And like I said, man, I'm here. I just wanna, you know, be a word of encouragement to the young brothers out there, man. You know, you want a real identity. You know, you want to truly be loved. You know, you ain't gonna find it no place but in God, man. No place but in the man Christ Jesus, man. You know, it's faith, man. And like I said, man, my faith in God and everything that Jesus taught me was the only thing that kept me alive. through my situation. It was the only thing that helped me grow, helped me, feel worthy of something, helped me realize that I do have a purpose and like my life has meaning now, and I'm all with it, man. I'm all with it, man. Like I said, I'm definitely doing the music thing, man. Little something, man. Like I said, I remember nights up in my cell block, the devil trying to get me hard to fail God. But I got encouragement to tell y'all, when you know who you are in Christ, you shall prevail, dog. Cold world, and they say hell's hot. You're nothing hotter than that burn once you feel God. Cause I done seen a lot of Christians living horribly. When that devil on me, I know how to shake him off of me. I'm raw knitted, that word we all live it. Word in my heart, living for God, I'm all with it. Satan using his agents at times, I do forget it. But me falling off from y'all, God will prevent it. I love preaching his word, traveling across that globe, tearing down all these shows with music the Lord knows. Whoa. Satan, a great enemy, but when we beefing with each other, he convincing me that a renewed mind most don't got it. Lately, Christianity been out of pocket, but I'ma get us home and get our minds right with God sharing each and every step by my side. Cause I done seen Christians start to lose hope, get impatient with God and take the wrong roads. And then they blame God for roads that they chose. That devil working hard as far as they know. But you gotta keep a clear mind in every situation. Use the weapons that he gave you to battle off Satan, cause he waiting for y'all to fall all off track, to keep you down and put his heavy paw on your back, yeah. But God gave you power over his works. Your faith is instructions to show you how it work. Wait. Life real, here today, going tomorrow. That's why I'm focused on the good, ain't worried about tomorrow. Dream Street, yeah, it's fly gang. And every member of my squad roll for Christ's name. No matter what it is that y'all think of my gang, y'all hearing me right. We ride for Christ. Peace.